I think we're actually getting the match that I was talking about a second ago. We're going to get to see Benoit, McDonald, Blanc taking on MkLeo.
The Bruno Hope is in Dome.
Okay. Listen, sometimes
you just bumped the table and knocked our monitors out.
Whoops. No, they're back.
Oh, okay, we're good.
I was going to say, it wasn't, I don't know if it was us. I think it was that it was something up there because they plugged in their controllers and it came back. What I will say is we were up there before on mainstream. We plugged the controller into the adapter and it did blank the monitors for a second. So that actually is what it is. I'm pretty sure.
Interesting.
It's just I have force powers. Okay, lost.
All right. But Leo, of course, going to be on the fleet like we saw earlier. And we just got a demonstration of maybe one of the best fleets in the world. In SkyJ, you know exactly what this character does now. I'm curious to see who our intrepid detective will be piloting.
One of the things I would like to see, though, you know, and maybe we've just missed it all on stream, we have a new character this beta. And somehow last, you and I have not talked about that
We haven't seen him yet.
Orcane hasn't shown up on stream. He is really good. His friction is super low, which makes things like his baby dash, his wavelength and dashes, his moonwalk, all very strong. He gets just some insane reversals. His up tilt, I think, feels really good. You get neutral air up tilt, which itself, you know, neutral air bouncing, giving you mix-up potential. And then back air. Back air is the move everyone is talking about with him. It combos, it kills. Its sweet spot is really, really big. But in the meantime, he's not here. We've got two creatures of the forest, one of the wind tribe, one of the earth tribe here, and Maypul and Fleet going at it.
And I think that's the kind of the risk that some people just aren't willing to take of picking up a new character right before a bracket like this. Because, like you said, Orcane, fresh in this beta, haven't really had a ton of time with him yet. So we don't, we know that he's good, but not as good as your main that you've been working on for a couple months. Maybe.
Yeah, it's that how broken are the buttons that you're willing to put down all of the practice you've had, right, to try something new. And the answer when there's money on the line is not as willing as you might be at home. So right now it's going to be Leo trying to find this pressure, but instead it's Benoit Blanc pushing you off stage, really waited out this slow fall and really doing a good job of utilizing those seeds on Fleet to really tax these resources from a distance.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest things that you can make Fleet struggle with is force her to do more in approaching you. Gonna pop up off of the vine. Leo still barely surviving.
That was one of the first flip shots I think I've really seen in bracket. It's a move a lot of fleets just don't leverage a lot. Finding the seed there is absolutely huge, although unfortunately just not going to be enough as Leo continues the advantage state. The wall jump into the instant up special. That DP just doing so much work for Maypul, even if it doesn't give the vertical distance you might want.
Oh, and like you said, not quite the vertical distance that you want. So that's going to be Leo taking first stock. Going to continue to try and put this pressure on, and sure you will kill. Okay.
Was that a down air safe on shield? Because it looked safe on shield from just the fade back there, which is actually really cool to see.
Well, then just parry.
Yeah, know? Right. That's the beauty of this game is instead of breaking your controller or to mash out of things or to SDI, everything has a little bit of a simpler counterplay alternative.
And chat also noticing the moonwalks that both players are employing. I'm very in love with this game's movement.
Moonwalk is so cool in this game too because you can turn tap jump off, which means you can moonwalk by going over the top of your stick instead of the bottom, and it makes it incredibly easy and consistent to do.
Looking for this catch on the landing. This is where Maypul makes a lot of money. Sharking landings. Now Leo's got to get back past an already set up vine. Gets so much tougher here.
Yeah, and just I'm really impressed by the way Benoit has been really covering some of these ledge trap scenarios, really showing off some of the new tools in this character's kit. Right, Maypul having all these aggressive buttons, but also multiple new types of plants that we've seen from him compared to Rivals 1.
Cashing in, Leo still barely holding on to the stock, but not anymore.
Okay, right now they're sharking the platform. Leo utilizing that slow fall to find some great movement, looking for the read, but the patient roll out from on Blanc lets him reset and find this advantage state. Now looking for the Shark under the platform, but Leo with that delayed tech option to get out of dodge, find the reversal here, and now push the Maypul to the corner.
Dash in, though, going to try and keep him from getting back up onto stage, but Maypul just a little bit too fast for Leo. Benoit Blanc going to be able to just jump straight over. Now in position for a great ledge trap edge guard. Leo's in trouble.
Yeah, he's in trouble, but you saw right, looking to throw out the seed when the plant is already planted. Unfortunately, when they're flowered, you can't throw a second one. So it's gonna just be Leo getting a couple extra chances. He hasn't gotten out yet, but finding one chance, and that's all he's gonna need to take the stock last.
But had to use all those extra chances and 85% worth of damage in the process. It's not looking good in game one.
No, it's not, but he's found a chance once, but not a second time.
Okay.
Barely gonna die there. Had the DI on lock, which, you know, right, seeing both DI mechanics in this game change from Rivals 1, right, and also the introduction of entirely new SSDI, right, something incredibly new to the mechanic in general. Seeing Leo have that level of mastery, right, understand exactly the angles to go to is really cool, because DI in this game is different than in other platform fighters.
Yep. Now going into game number 2, we're just going to run it straight back. Leo going to try and keep the infinite ledge situations from happening to him in this game, because that's really where Benoit Blanc was able to get away with so much damage, so much just rinse and repeat, brain off ledge trapping.
And what a juggle there. Tries to find that single hit back air to get the pop-up and the extension, but Blanc not able to keep it going. So now it's Leo's turn, pushing you to the corner, controlling space with that side special. And Fleet being able to control under a platform and then slow fall and maintain the space covering above it is just so incredibly strong in this game.
Both of them staying neck and neck. Leo's going to be able to set up for the offstage situation, but not quite capitalizing on these opportunities to spike down. We saw SkyJ getting a lot of those, and yes, he was up against a much larger character in the form of the big elephant, but still got to be capitalizing on those chances or you're not going to be winning games like this.
And speaking of chances to capitalize on, we saw Benoit Blanc have a chance to take the first stock there off the dunk down pop-up, but wasn't able to do so. Dashag not going to do it yet either. Tries to find off the tether, but some tricky last-minute drift mix-up from Leo is going to help him hold on to the stock, get back to stage, and even maintain stage control.
Has full control of the ledge as well, too, but just mistimes the opportunity, the option. It's going to let Maypul get back up on once more. Leo, you got to take a stock here, man.
I mean, honestly, they both do, right? Both of them just back and forth, 163 to 110. These are some of the highest percents I've seen in Rivals 2 last. The neutral has been fantastic, but at the end of the day, it's going to be the old faithful, that up air from Maypul, taking stock number 1.
Still get back to ledge just fine, and from the way that the last game went, Benoit Blanc more than capable of surviving for a while at this percent, and the damage output that we've seen from them as well, that makes this very dangerous for Leo.
Yeah, Leo knows that, hey, I need to find this stock now, and that's one of the things with Fleet. Her up air, her strongest kill button, the back, right, not all that. If you can't find that raw hit, you have to find the juggle, and Leo not quite able to find the back air. It's going to do it in the corner, but from center stage at 170 almost, right, still not enough. So Benoit Blanc doing such a good job surviving, as you mentioned, that damage output, and Leo has to find a way to get away if he wants to stay in the set.
Speaking of getting away, got to get away from this sharking juggle. Dare 1, not going to be able to go into the second dare.
And the special
back throw, too.
And I was going to say, special pummel mix-up, right, to get you latched in. That means that Seed, right, trying to find that back-end pop-up into an up air to maybe close out the stock. Benoit Blanc feels like he's thinking so many steps ahead with some of these setups than some of the other Maypuls I've seen who are just really abusing the character's more aggressive buttons.
Landing it on the shield there. Neither one of them quite has the confidence to parry these, because we could see the game turn around completely if these falling aerials on shield start getting parried. Dare there, though, going to be plenty enough to do it, and a massive percentage lead also by Benoit Blanc.
And the moonwalk and the slide off there between stocks, just a little bit of style to keep your hands warm. As you mentioned before last, right, so much movement expression here, and so much combo expression too, but if you miss it once, it's going to be the other opponent's turn, and now Leo just trying to keep the juggle going. Unfortunately, going to miss his mark, though, still able to pick it up at the end of the day.
Down low, though, and a huge opportunity for Leo to at least get some damage. I thought he could have gone for the edge guard there and gotten the stock instead of just the safe 26%. But regardless, Now it's Maypul's turn.
And holding shield on the plant and there to bait that from Leo and find the punish was just so smart from Benoit Blanc there. However, that Tornado going to create a wall. C doesn't cut through it, so having to back off, reset. These two are just poking from a distance, utilizing their projectiles to control space, but it's Leo at kill percent on his final stock, and he's the one who has to be careful to even try and force this final situation.
Yeah, has to do a lot of work and does it to bring us onto the last stock situation like you were talking about, but so much more work to be done. Pops up into the, oh, not quite with the up air.
Yeah, and that down air could have been the opportunity Leo was looking for, but he's not able to quite find it. However, here in the corner, if you're not careful, that stock might just disappear against Fleet. Looking for the ledge hog, instead gets the back throw to reset it, gets a continuation off the platform. Leo is starting to close the gap.
Something else that we're not really seeing from Leo is any sort of like float at all. Not using one of Fleet's strongest mechanics is a little bit odd, but getting by just fine without it up until this point. Dodges the Vine Snap as well. Has a huge opportunity here, using the tornadoes to their fullest.
Yeah, and you see, right, Leo just poking from a distance, right, playing the pace to slow this game down, knowing, last, as I'm sure you know better than most, he is one of the most clutch players in the history of platform fighters, utilizing that experience here to its fullest, and he just starts to inch by inch, step by step, make this comeback start to become a possibility.
Just an inch away from hitting that arrow off of the back throw as well. Still has Benoit Blanc stuck at the ledge, catches him onto the platform, keeps this chase going. The tornado sends him down and is just charging the down strong, but the wrong way around.
Yeah, I like the idea there, right? You're trying to go for something. Missing the parry, though, is
no, not like that.
He gets sold out. He has one more chance here last. Gonna use that flow ball to give himself an opportunity. And the coverage gets a reversal situation. The crowd's starting to go wild. And it's going to be MkLeo taking the game. How about that?
All the way from one of the biggest deficits possible in this game. Leo manages to bring it back, and not just that, but by the skin of his teeth, because he avoids the the tether up air that should have been a true confirm.
Last, what were you saying to me about
it
you
works
play
in other
back
games?
room? Right, you're like, it shouldn't work in other games. Well, guess what? It does, and I don't know how he managed to get it work in other games, because it's not a universal thing, but now, Game 3, we didn't think we'd see it, but we're here, and both these players are ready to show us their finest because they know what the other one's capable of.
Absolutely. And Benoit Blanc not going to let the way that game ended get him down in dumps. He's going to come right back out of the gate swinging for game number 2. Leo trying to get tricky with the offstage movement, but still hasn't been able to touch down on solid ground. Even now, going to continuously get juggled here. The tether, not quite enough for the KO.
Yeah. Just the off-screen, right? Not having a radar like you do in Ultimate means it's a little bit harder to find some of those off-stage confirms, and Leo has been taking full advantage of that, even as Maypul in turn, right, taking advantage of these biplats, not giving Leo space to land, and really doing a good job locking him down in the air.
Leo, once again, even though a big percent deficit was found at the start of this, is slowly inching his way back into this, might even be able to get the first stock, pops into the tornado, but isn't able to follow up off of it, unfortunately for him. Benoit Blanc gets solid ground once again. Oh, should be able to convert off of this?
I was going to say, even if he doesn't, though, this has been his bread and butter, right? It's just keeping these ledge trap situations going for so long. But that might be why why the bans shook out to let us go to a biplat somewhere that those ledge traps aren't going to have as much fruit. And Benoit Blanc is going to have to force more of these situations to get the same upside he was earlier.
Yeah, we spent all 3 games here on the same stage.
Yeah.
Pops into the vine. It's another one. Oh, but the recovery goes high. Pops both the vine and the Maypul.
Listen, sometimes we have those moments, right, where our brain lapses for a second last, and that's my fault, as unfortunately you get your landing caught, that F-Strong coming in and locking that one down.
Trying to follow up onto the platform here. Leo manages to get out without too much damage put onto him, unlike what we saw at the start of this game. Trying to take his turn.
I like the idea to find that hit fall, try to get the drag down right off the up air, but unfortunately not able to find his arc, and Leo just not able to find the ledge trap there on the biplat either, and so Benoit Blanc going to find his own combo in turn.
Good shield from Leo off of the neutral get up. Going to be able to regain center stage, but only for a split second. Maypul just making use of that incredible speed to get straight past. Up throw, juggle here.
Okay, I like the jab. Tries to find the strong, but Leo utilizing that slow fall to go high, keep his mix-ups out of disadvantage with Fleet's recovery, so flexible, right? And very non-committal. That time, though, you run out of options, and that F-strong hits below the ledge.
Jumps straight in, Leo once again down a little bit, but we already saw him do his work here last game. See if he can do it one more time. Needs the stock here. Doesn't want to let too much extra credit, no matter how clutch he is, and doesn't want to make it harder on himself.
To me, the most interesting thing about Leo's float usage throughout this set has been, as you mentioned, he isn't using it as aggressively there, though, finding the down air up strong, but he's been using it really well defensively, right? Just holding space, finding his way out of some of these combo routes, and just really causing you to get with his micro spacing, almost like Peach float.
Pops up, big juggle into the first dare. Leo really struggling to get out of disadvantage, but finally does it, and now tries to continue the tech chase with more grabs, but ain't no chain grabbing in this game. You have to earn each one of those.
Yes, you do. While the reaction tech chases do exist, they are just toned a little bit down from earlier in this game's lifespan. Right now, though, what's not toned down is Maypul trying to find this sharking as Benoit Blanc recognizes the scenario that he can't let Leo back into like last game around, but Leo unfazed, gonna keep on fighting till the end.
Oh, that was very nearly it, and okay, it was. For a second, I thought Leo might have survived through that, but the tether into the aerial is just a little bit too strong from that position on the stage, and that is going to be a 2-1 victory for Benoit McDonald Blanc over MkLeo.
Yeah, and what a set, right? That was our first game, 3 here on quad, and right, these two players putting each other to the absolute limit at the end of the day. Benoit McDonald Blanc able to clutch it out a little bit, right? Kind of catch on to some of those defensive floats and kind of lock down Leo at ledge, force him low more where Maypul can really shine. Are we at top 8 yet?
Not quite. So that was the winner's quarters qualifier.
Okay.
So one more set for each player, and then that'll get them into top 8 winner's side. But Leo still got another shot at it in losers. Gonna be trying to claw his way through there, while we'll probably see more of Benoit Blanc and his Maypul a little bit later, especially in that winner's side quarterfinals. And the one other thing that I wanted to say, like especially comparing Leo and SkyJ, Leo didn't float offensively. Did not use float to extend his combos. Only used it as like, I'm trying to stall off stage a little bit, trying to make my recovery more.
He did do it out of a couple combo starters, right? That where you have that like 1 or 2 frames where it's not quite true, but it does catch them down quite a lot, catch you out quite a lot. We saw Leo would float to just shift himself slightly enough off to the side to be able to get the reversal out of those situations. And I like that you bring up the contrast to SkyJ, because he's someone who was utilizing those offensive floats a lot, but he wasn't doing the defensive ones.
Yeah, so I think it's interesting to see that, well, SkyJ's worked out a little bit better for him, but Leo still put up a damn good fight in that series.